We all love to earn ridiculous amounts of credit card points. But how does it work when we have multiple credit cards across the same issuer? How does it work to combine points between cards within the same issuer? And let's say I also have a family member and want to combine points with them. What are the rules for each bank and how do we do it? Today, we're going to talk about that. My name is Sean and I'm here with my co-host.
Hi everyone, I'm Sherwin. On today's episode of the Credit Card BS podcast, we're going to give you a very detailed rundown on how to combine points across cards and with family members. So why is this important? Usually a credit card issuer, Chase, American Express, Citi, etc., has an assortment of cards that earn one type of points currency. Now, the no annual fee cards tend to have better multipliers. For example, the Chase Freedom Flex gives you 5x on certain categories, depending on the quarter. The Citi Strata card gives you 3x on grocery and EV charging and gas, just as some examples. But you can't transfer those points to airline and hotel partners unless you have an annual fee card. But the annual fee cards tend not to have the best multipliers. So you want to combine those points together, do your normal spend on your no annual fee cards, getting high multipliers, but then using those annual fee cards to unlock the transfer partners. So each bank has a slightly different mechanism as to how this combination works. We're going to run through that in detail so you can maximize your earning and redemption value. So let's start with Chase. Sean, how do you combine points with Chase? How does it work?
Yeah, so for Chase, if you have two ultimate rewards earning cards, what you have to do is go onto their portal and essentially there's a button called Combine Points and you can just choose from what card to move the points from and to. And it doesn't matter if you move it from an annual fee to a no annual fee or vice versa. They let you do it as much as you want, unlimited. There's no limits on that. The only thing is if you do cancel a card, you will, I believe, have 30 days to transfer those points out or you forfeit them. So let's say I have 100,000 points in card A and no points in card B and I cancel the card A. I would want to transfer those points. You probably should just do it before you cancel the card to be safe into card B that earns it so that they're safe. And there's no limits or anything like that. And the reason you'd want to do this is, let's say I have a bunch of points in a Freedom Flex, but I can't transfer those out to partners. What I can then do is move those points over to like a Sapphire Reserve or Preferred, and then from the Sapphire Reserve or Preferred, transfer out to partners.
Yeah, so usually you can move these points freely around and there's no limit on how much you can do this. You can go back and forth. It won't really get stuck. There is one exception. Be very careful. If you're transferring points into the Ink Premier card, you will lose the ability to transfer those points out to any partners. And once those points are in the Ink Premier, they do not come back out to another card that has transfer partners. So be very careful about that transfer. It will be irreversible. And again, as Sean mentioned, if you cancel that card, please make sure you just move the points to another card before you cancel or downgrade the card instead. You should be able to keep those ultimate rewards points safe there. And they do not expire as long as the card is active. Well, a little annoying to sometimes have to combine points around, but honestly, pretty simple system to use and understand. Let's move on to the next one, which is American Express. So American Express functions a little differently because if you have multiple membership rewards earning cards, they automatically combine all the points from those cards into one big pool. And though that pool stays alive as long as you have at least one membership rewards points earning card. So this is why I usually recommend people to keep a Blue Business Plus open, for example, because that has no annual fee. It's a MR earning card, so it keeps the points alive. So even if you cancel all of your platinums and golds and greens and whatever, your points won't expire and disappear.
Yeah. And for Citi, it's a little different. What you'll end up doing is you can combine your points from multiple cards into one pool. And you can do this either by linking them on the Thank You Rewards portal or by calling into customer service. I mean, that way what will happen is even though it's in one pool, you'll have the most optimal transfer ratio or redemption. It will just automatically pick that because they've had some of the no annual fee cards add some transfer partners with bad ratios. If you have the card with the good ratio, automatically just use that. But note that because Citi still tracks where each point came from in terms of what card it came from, it's not like Amex where if I just have one of the points earning cards open, it will preserve all of them. Doesn't work that way. They will know oh, this many points of the pool came from this card. I don't know how they know how to pull the points. I don't know how that works, but basically don't cancel the cards, downgrade the cards, or spend the points first because otherwise you risk losing them.
Yes. So also keep in mind that as Sean said, if you have different cards that have different redemption values or transfer ratios, it picks the best one. And that also applies to cashback. So I think Citi's making change to the Strata Premier, for example, that if you want to redeem for cashback or statement credit, you only get 0.6 cents per point. But if I combine that with like a Citi Double Cash or Citi Custom Cash, which guarantees 1 cent per point cash back together into that pool, you'll always be able to redeem for 1 cent per point on a cashback or statement credit. And then same thing with the transfer ratio. If you have one card that transfers 1,000 to 700 and another that goes 1-to-1, it will always give you access to 1-to-1 as long as you combine it into one pool. Okay, the next thing is Capital One. So Capital One is a bit interesting. They have these miles earning cards, really just points, like Venture X, for example. But they also have cashback cards like the Saver One, which give you 3% back on entertainment and dining and grocery, right? So what if you want to combine these? You can actually transfer the cash back from cards such as Saver One into miles if you have like a Venture or Venture X, like a miles earning cards, and then you can like transfer them out to partners. Do note that Venture X miles and Venture miles cannot be redeemed for cash back at 1 cent per point. The best you can do for this type of redemption is the travel eraser, where you can offset travel purchases for statement credits at 1 cent per point. But if you're just redeeming for straight cash back, it's like 0.5 cents per point, which is very awful. So be careful, because like if you had like Saver One cash back and you move them into miles and now you want cash back instead, it's not going to come back out. So like think carefully about your use case before you make the transfer is my recommendation.
Definitely. Yeah, you want to be very certain that when you're like, especially when you're moving points, that like there are certain things you have to be aware of, such as like the Ink Premier. You don't want to get your points stuck in there. Same thing with this. As far as Wells Fargo goes, it's pretty basic. The active cash, like cashback card, that cashback can be converted into autograph journey points, meaning you would be able to like transfer those out to Wells Fargo set of transfer partners. Although just note their transfer partner set is pretty limited.
Yeah, but I think with these two cards, the multipliers actually become pretty good because you get 2% back on everything with the active cash, especially 2x card, and a bunch of 3x categories on the autograph or autograph journey, which means like it's almost comparable to Citi's pretty decent multipliers. So definitely a setup worth considering for some people. And yeah.
Definitely.
So now let's talk about like sharing points with others. So you have a friend or family member, you want to use points together, or you want to give someone else points so they can redeem for something. How does it work? So it's very different from each issuer. For Chase, what you can do is call into customer service and ask to link your Ultimate Rewards accounts to a family member, and then you can make one-way transfers to their card. So let's say, I'm in a household and my partner has a Sapphire Preferred, but I only have a Freedom card that I can't transfer out to partners. So I can call in, link my account to my partner, so I can transfer my Freedom points into my partner's Sapphire account. But I think it does have to be in the same household, and there are like limits on how often you can change your link person. So it's definitely not meant to be like unlimited, give your points to whoever you want system. But it's nice that they have this.
Yes.
For American, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just want to add one more thing. At least the last I've checked, the terms on this are pretty specific. It's that you can transfer to one member of your household. And what that means, at least how I interpret it on the terms, is you can have like two people of your house. Let's say there's 3 people in a household. 2 people can transfer to one person, if that makes sense. So like 2 people can independently link that one person, which is interesting because then you can combine it into like one master account, at least according to what the terms say. And this is not one of those things I would recommend gaming, because I think they will let you add someone who does technically reside at a different address. I wouldn't really risk it because I have heard of shutdown data points on this. And so I think this is something I would like play very much within the rules of, make sure that whatever you're doing is above board and you don't have any issues, because it's not really worth it to risk it. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Cool. Now, the next thing is American Express. You can transfer to an authorized user's loyalty account, but there's no way to move points directly to a different person's account. Like I can't get, like if Sean is an authorized user on my card, I can't give him my membership rewards points, but I can give his loyalty accounts miles that I transfer out. And the authorized user does not even need to be like an Amex customer themselves. Right, they can just be the authorized user. So it works very differently than Chase here.
Yes, and you do need to be added as for an authorized user for 90 days. That's the only thing I should add, just because they have, they want people not to game it, and so that's like a way they prevent it. As far as the next issuer goes, Citi, you can you can receive up to 100,000 points per year from another Citi account. It does not have to be like a family member. It could be a friend that's like at a totally different address. The only caveat though is the points do expire 60 days after going into your account. So you will want to have like a very clear redemption of what you're going to use them for. And the only negative on this is that it is only 100,000 points a year, which isn't that large, but it is nice because there's no restrictions on who it can be from.
Yeah, but definitely be very careful about the 60 days after transferring. This is not something you want to use if like, oh, I want to downgrade or cancel my card, but I want to park my points somewhere, my family, so they don't expire, so I don't lose the points. That's not going to be the case. They're going to expire 60 days after transferring. So I would only use this if you're about to redeem for something immediately. Okay, and then finally, Capital One is pretty nice policy. So there's no way to do this online directly. And it's not very well documented, but one cardholder can actually transfer your miles to another cardholder by calling customer service. And as far as I am aware, there's no particular limit on how you could do this. You just need like the card numbers and the names and information of both cards, and you're able to do that.
That's a pretty good one, I will say. The only thing I wish Capital One did let you transfer to like authorized users, but it is pretty nice that like you can just transfer to another card member directly. I'm sure probably the reason they allow this is because of partly the fact that it's not like super documented and talked about, and that people aren't gaming it, which I think I wouldn't, similar to like the Chase thing, I would not recommend people start gaming this. Like I understand like there are probably forums where people like, would do this for you, but like I would just do it within your friends and family and stuff, because otherwise it's like too high of a shutdown risk. But I think it is really nice that they allow you to do this, because it is, you maybe have a friend that's like, hey man, I'm never going to use these points. I'm always using them for cash back or something. And, now you're able to hopefully get a better redemption value.
Yep, I agree. So what are your thoughts about combining points across cards? Like, have you done this yourself? What program do you like or dislike? Let us know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It greatly helps support us. Also, if you're interested in applying for any credit card, please consider using one of the links down in the description below. It greatly helps support the channel. And Sean, why don't you plug our Discord?
So if you want to connect with an elite group of credit card enthusiasts and award travelers entirely for free, check out the Traveling Discord group at the link in the description. You will learn a ton, I promise you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.